what's going on, you guys? This is Kevin, the Full Metal Ginger, and today I'm going to do something a little bit different. This is going to be a response video to CountBlagorath's best musical experiences, listening experiences, I guess you'd say. I'm usually not really big on doing response videos. This is actually my first one, but I just thought this one was a really good topic and just an opportunity to do some storytelling, so to speak. So yeah, we'll just go ahead and knock that out. I got 5 fucking CDs to look at, and they all really mean a lot to me. Really good albums, plus they're, just have a special place in my heart because of my experiences dealing with them. So yeah, we'll look at that. Listening to Panopticon Autumn Eternal. Really, really awesome fucking album. I'm sure you all know it by now. Thanks again to Canyon Bickle for sending this to me. You're a fucking man. You make me wet downstairs. Alright, first off, and I showed this in my last video, so it's kind of fucking beaten up for anyone who didn't see that. This is a Cold Chamber with chamber music, and I'll have to show you the back because the book's just ripped all to pieces. This is harkening back to my junior high days. I bought this in, probably about October of '99, so about 17 years ago. It's beaten all to pieces, as you can tell. And the only thing I have left is this one piece of the book, the back cover of the book. For those of you who don't know, it's kind of like this is when nu metal was all the rage back then, and this was just Cold Chamber kind of redefining themselves, going into a more goth phase than the nu metal phase. They kind of been criticized, I guess, for sounding like Korn, that kind of thing. But this is like unlike anything I'd heard at the time. See, back then, the only thing I'd really listened to was my parents' music, and so I never really knew what was out there. And I just picked this up in a store one day, and it just blew me away. The first song is an instrumental, and then it cuts right into Tragedy. And that fucking song knocked me right on my ass the first time I heard it. But what makes this such a good listening experience is I was really antisocial, still am to an extent, but I was going from elementary school to junior high, and where I used to know everyone, and now I don't know anybody. And I'm naturally shy as it is, so I didn't really talk to anyone. So I would put this on and just listen to it the whole bus ride home, which is usually about an hour and 15-minute ride. So it gave me time to listen to the whole thing. And what I really remember about it is it being in the fall time, in the autumn, and just driving down all the back roads of the shitty little town I live in, looking at all the trees and just the scenery, and it just, for whatever reason, it just fit right in with it. And I just have a lot of good memories of just fucking riding that bus, which is weird. A lot of good memories of riding that bus listening to this. And I did this with all their albums, but this one was my all-time favorite album for a very long time, and it just helped me pass the time, getting away from people, and just put me in another fucking place. So I'll always have a special place in my heart for this album and this band for helping me through that. And it's an awkward time. You first start junior high, and this was helping me to discover myself, so to speak. Yeah, just driving through the fucking woods on the bus, and got me away from those fucking morons that I didn't want to associate with. I was a loser. Alright, next up. This is a fairly recent one. A recent experience, I should say. And it's not so much this whole album, it's the last song on here. But this is Aeon with Aeon's Black. Sorry for the glare once again. This is a really good album. But what really made it special to me, goes back to a couple, maybe 3 years ago. And at the time, my wife and I both worked second shift. Let's see. No, she was on third shift at the time. I'm sorry. I was on second. She was on third, and I was leaving work one night. Had to go up to totally the other side of the county to pick my daughter up from my in-laws. They were watching her. And this is probably mid-December or so. It was either mid-December or mid-January. It was one or the other. I know it was just fucking cold out. And I've been listening to this all day. And I get in the car and riding through, and I'm heading that way to go get my daughter. And the song "Die by My Hands" came on, and for whatever reason, it being so cold, that fucking solo in that song just fucking struck a chord with me to the point where I was just blown the fuck away. And it's not like it's anything, just, it's not like it's anything totally fucking different. But it just, for whatever reason, it just fit the mood I was in. It fit the atmosphere. It fit wintertime. And still to this day, I can't, this song and this album is not the same unless I listen to it in the wintertime. You just have to go check it out. Die by My Hands. Fucking excellent solo. If you listen to it in the dead of winter, I'm telling you, it's fucking awesome. And it was I listened to this song to the point where I couldn't fucking stand it anymore after that. So I don't know why. I just, for whatever reason, I've heard it before, but for whatever reason that day, it just fucking blew me away. Or that night, I should say. I mean, just traveling at night through the fucking mountains and woods and back roads, and it's fucking cold out, and just really got to me. So there's Aeon, Die by My, or fucking Aeon's Black, Die by My Hands, whatever. Alright, this is another recent one, and it really just makes me happy every time I think about it. Recent album, something you all should know, Satanic War Master, Februari. What happened was, I live about a half mile or so off the main road. And here in the South, we don't deal with snow. So when it snows off these back roads, you know, we're snowed in, pretty much. We're not getting out for a day or so, unless you just fucking have a four-wheel drive, which none of us really do. But what I like to do is when that happens, I like to go out and walk the quarter mile or whatever it is back to the main road and then come back. What I like about it is there's usually like one set of tire tracks and that's it, and it's just so dead quiet out, and it's just really just amazing, especially for me, like, you know, being such a fan of being in the woods and stuff. But for whatever reason, I had my iPod with me and I was listening. I'd listened to it 100 times already, but for whatever, this is like February. I got it around December, but this is February. And I'm just walking through the snow listening to this, and it just, I can't even explain it, dude. It just brought up such a well of emotion in me, and all I wanted to do was just stay out there and freeze my ass off and fucking listen to this just over and over again. And I probably walked all the way to the end of the road and back. At least once, but I might have even walked back and did it twice. But especially on Winter's Spell and When Thunders Hail and Winter's Hunger, it was just fucking mesmerizing because it's so dead quiet, snow falling all around me, and then just fucking listening to this album. It just fit the mood so fucking well. I know that's fucking cliche, but it was just amazing to me. I'd never really experienced anything like that before. You know, putting black metal in its element, so to speak. So there's that. Fucking amazing. Amazing album, too. Alright, next up, I picked this one up, and for whatever reason didn't listen to it right away. It was actually a day or two later. I think I got it with a bunch of other stuff, so I kind of jumped on the other stuff first and didn't really listen to this right away. But I'm glad I did it when I did it. This is Zaster with Subliminal Genocide. That glare sucks ass. I gotta do something about these lights. Fucking pissing me off. Anyway, and this is also in the wintertime, probably about January, February. Last year, probably. Yeah. No, this year. Whatever. Sometime. My wife asked me if I would go into town and get something to eat, and I was like, sure, and I went to go to Taco Bell, I believe it was. And so I just put this on the drive, and I don't know what came over me, but I felt like I was in a bubble that no one could see me. And I was just kind of like observing everything around me. I felt like I was a ghost. I was in the car, it was really dark out, and that's just, I can't tell you why that came across me, or that came on me when I was listening to this. But I just felt like I was totally invisible, just walking through the world and observing everyone else doing everything that they were doing. and it was just amazing feeling to know that, or to feel like I wasn't even there, but I was there, so to speak. And this album is the one that fucking did it, and still to this day, every time I think about it, it just gives me chills. It's just a feeling I can't replicate. I've even tried to replicate it. I've put this on driving around at night again since, but it's just not been the same as that time. And that was the first time I've listened to it. And it just fucking, it's floored me. And every time I put this on, I'm reminded of that time. Just ride it. All I wanted to do was just ride around the whole rest of the night. And it was just a fantastic, fantastic experience. I'm at a loss of words for that one. There's a Disaster, Subliminal Genocide. And finally, last one I got for you, and I've got plenty more fucking stories with all the rest of this shit I have, but this one's my favorite. I was leaving work one night, and it is another snow story. I was leaving work one night, and the snow was already getting pretty deep. And like I said, here in the South, we're not equipped to deal with that shit. I'm from North Carolina. And, yeah, we get like 2 or 3 snow days a year where there's snow on the road. You know, the rest of the time it's melting off or it's not there. And I remember thinking, Autopsy has a song called In the Grip of Winter. That's what I'm going to fucking listen to when I leave work. So that's what I fucking put on. Mental Funeral. And I put it on and was just following the convoy back home. And it usually takes me straight shot about 25 minutes to get home. That night it took me about 45 to 50. Because the snow was so deep. I actually almost slid off the road a couple times. It was so bad. And for whatever reason, this whole fucking album just fit the snowfall so much. You'd always think a black metal album would. But this one, to me, every time I think of driving in winter and listening to music, I want to listen to fucking Autopsy's Mental Funeral. Just from that experience. And it was just a spur-of-the-moment thing. I was just like, let's listen to some Autopsy. And I'm so fucking glad I did. I mean, it was dirty fucking death metal chaos, and I'm driving in the snow trying to concentrate on it, and it was freaking me out, but it was just amazing at the same time. Like, you know, I'm trying not to slide off the road, and there's this fucking crazy sounding fucking metal in the background, just dirty and repulsive, and it just fit the atmosphere so fucking well. And I'll never forget that. Every time I think of Mental Funeral, I think of that experience just driving through that snow. It just fit my mood and the mood of the world so fucking well. So yeah, there's my 5 albums. I probably do more, but you know, my computer doesn't upload worth a fuck, so yeah, whatever. So yeah, big shout out to CountBlagorath's for basically giving me an idea to do a video. And thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it. And that's all I got for you. So send me those likes, send me those comments, subscribe if you have not, and keep supporting extreme fucking metal.